Pero ngayon, kahit nga naman niya pigilan, ay tuloy-tuloy ang pagdalin niyon sa kanyang isip. Nahugot ni Alanah ang hininga na mabungaran si Lucas na nakasandal sa sasakyan ng kanyang lolo sa labas ng pinapasukan kung saan siya first year college. He did not even bother to change out his greasy jumpsuit na may logo pa na AJ Parts. Yun ang uniform sa car shop ng kanyang lolo. Part-timer doon si Lucas. His unusually long hair was tied into a messy ponytail while his handsome face was stained with grease. His tall body was getting everyone's attention, the girls especially. At alam niyang di lang yon dahil sa tangkad nito. Lucas, despite his dirty clothes right now, was still ridiculously handsome. Lolo Lemuel must be very busy again at si Lucas na naman ang sundo mo. Untag ni Claudette, kasabay niya naglalakad palabas ng gate. Yeah, she agreed. Abala si Lolo sa pagbabranch out ngayon. Pilit niyang itinatago ang kakaibang nararamdaman sa simpleng dahilang naroon si Lucas. Let's go. Ayaw niya sa kaibigan. Halos araw-araw tong sumasama sa kanya sa kanilang bahay at nagpapasundo na lang doon sa mga magulang nito. Oh, I'm sorry Alanah. Hindi ako sasama ngayon sa bahay ninyo. Mom is there. Turo nito sa isang pulang BMW. Oh, nasa boses niyang pagkadismaya. Hindi lang dahil hindi tatambay ang kaibigan sa kanilang bahay na nakasanayan na niya. Just the thought of being alone with Lucas made her stomach tighten. Yeah, we're going shopping and then dinner with Dad later on. Paliwanag nito. And I don't think I want to get in your car with Lucas all greasy like that. Maarte pa nitong biro. She pretended to laugh, although deep inside, she was feeling very uneasy. Okay, I'll see you on Monday. Hinintay muna niyang makapasok sa kotse ng ina nito si Claudette. After waving at them, she slowly walked toward Lucas who was still leaning against the car. This time he was looking straight at her with that gentle smile he always used on her. It had always amazed her how Lucas would look so cold and harsh, pero sa oras na tingnan siya nito at napapalitan niya ng gentleness. You okay, Annie? Tanong nito. Binubuksan ng passenger side para sa kanya. Yeah, where's Lolo? Tanong niya kahit alam na ang sagot. Nasa meeting with the building owner sa Bulacan. I think they're close to making a deal. Mabuti naman. Bago na isara ni Lucas ang pinto, naamoy pa niyang panlalaki nitong pabango. She silently shook her head. How could Lucas still smell so nice despite being so dirty like that? Ilang segundo lang ang nakalipas, katabi na niya ito at nag-umpisa na ang magmaneho. Jessie called today. Umpisa nito na bahagyasi ang lilingon. Magtatatlong ba na mula na umalis si Jessie patungo sa US? Nauna na rito sina Aston at Brennan. They all decided to follow their dreams abroad at si Lucas lang naiwan. Ipinagtaka yun ni Alanah dahil magtatatlong taon na. Simula nang mamatay ang lolo nito na tayong pamilya ng lalaki sa Pilipinas. At simula nang mamatay ang abena nito, niyakag na ito ni Brennan at ang kanyang lolo na doon na manirahan sa kanilang bahay. Lucas had politely declined the offer bagaman madalas doon din ito nagpapalipas ng gabi. What's up with him? She wanted to know. Hindi niya madalas makausap ang mga kababata. He just got admitted into the army. Inaya niya akong pumunta na sa US since the last wave of recruitment is still ongoing for this year. Marahas siyang napatingin dito, desperately searching his face for his answer. Are you going? Hindi alam ni Alanah kung bakit parang may ninakaw na kung anong kanyang dibdib. Sinulipan siya ni Lucas. He seemed confused for a while. Well, untag niya. She might sound a bit needy right now pero talagang gusto niyang malaman. Muli nilingon siya ni Lucas. This time dahil naka-red light mas matagal ang tingin ko sa kanya. His dark eyes watched her as if he was searching for something. Do you want me to go? Sa wakas sambit nito. Did she? Of course not. She may have been working really hard to ignore whatever it was that she was feeling for him, but thinking of Lucas going away too certainly was not something she could imagine. No, she choked a little. Malulungkot tiyak si Lolo kapag umalis ka, and he needs you in the shop lalo pat nag-expand yan na negosyo. And you're studying. You cannot just leave college. Nakita niya ang sandaling pagrehistro ng pagkadismaya sa mukha ng lalaki. I'm sure Lemuel can handle this shop. Andyan ka naman. And I don't really need any college qualification if I'm going to the army. Napatiimbagang siya. So he was actually thinking of going. Well, it's not like you're gonna get accepted in the army anyway. What do you mean? Basag ulo ka, hot-headed. I don't think you have the patience, so it's better for you to just stay here. So, you don't want me to leave then? This time there was a glint of relief on his face. There was even a small grin playing on his lips, and like always, her heart panicked. Nahahalata na ba nito? Nararamdaman niya? She couldn't let that happen. One time during her 15th birthday, Alanah made a mistake of telling Lucas that he was handsome. The four boys made fun of her for a month, and she was sure mauulit yun kapag natunugan ni Lucas na hanggang hindi pa rin nagbabago nararamdaman niya. Well, technically it had changed. She knew what she was feeling for Lucas was not just a childish crush anymore. It wasn't the giddy type of crush that little girls would squeal about. Ni hindi niya nga magpakatotoo sa harapan nito. She couldn't smile properly. She could not even breathe properly, for goodness sake. "You do what you want, Lucas," she said curtly. She hated it so much when Lucas used that boyish grin. It would always send her emotions into a panic. "What do you want?" Balik nito. "What does it matter?" She was really getting uneasy now. She knew Lucas adored her, kahit pa nga ba hindi sa parang gusto niya, pero ngayon lang to nagpakita ng interes tungkol sa kung ano talaga ang gusto niya. "I feel responsible for you, Alanah. Ako na lang andito and I don't want to leave if that's not okay with you." There it was, that same adoration. Alanah resented. He cared for her like a little girl, the way the rest of the boys cared for her. "Wala kang responsibilidad sa akin, Lucas. Stay if you want, but go if that will make you happier." Labag man sa loob pakiramdam niya, yun ang dapat niyang sabihin. "I think I'm staying." "Why is that?" Bigla man nakaramdam ng relief ay hindi niya yun ipinahalata. "Cause you obviously don't want me to go." Sagot nito at kinindatan siya. "What are you talking about?" Defensive niyang bulalas. Ito na nga bang sinasabi niya. Alam na yata nitong damdamin niya. "Dream on, Lucas. Kaya naman kita gusto magstay ay dahil kay Lolo, not because of anything else. Especially not because I still have a stupid crush on you." Nanlaki ang mata niya pagkasabi ng mga katagang yon. Slip of the tongue, they call it. All right now, she was very close to cutting off her tongue. "So talaga naman nagkakakrush ka sa akin noon ah?" Gulat pero puno ng amusement itong tanong at saglit siyang lingon. "Lucas, no!" Halos sisigaw niya yon. "You guys just assumed that before just because I said you looked handsome in that tuxedo you were wearing." Isinasayaw siya noon ni Lucas Aston, was close by, dancing with the girl too, at narinig din ang sabihin niya si Lucas na napakagwapo nito sa suot na tuxedo. Before she knew it, nasabi ni Aston, Brennan, Jessie, that birthday party was a nightmare. Pahiyang-pahiya siya dahil sa pang-asa ng mga kababata na mas pinalapan na makisali rin sa mga ito si Lucas, who couldn't stop grinning all night looking like a proud jerk. Napahalakak si Lucas. He was clearly not taking her seriously. "Ang init naman ng ulo mo. You must be hungry. Wanna grab a bite before going home?" "No, thank you," she snapped. Pikon na pikon pa rin. Kung hindi lang siya natatakot na alis nga si Lucas, kung sasabihin niyang pumunta na rin tayo US, kanina pa niya yung ibinulalas. Pero siya rin na masasaktan. "Come on, let's drop by yellow cab." Tukoy nito sa paborito nitong pizza parlor na madadaanan nila. "My treat." "No." Marain niyang sagot. Maliban pa sa talagang asar pa rin si Alanah ay ayaw niya ng choice ng toppings ito. The boys always picked sausage and jalapeno, which she found disgusting. At dahil apat na mga ito, ang mga ito masusunod. "Are you sure? I will let you pick the toppings." Pangiengganyo pa nito. Napalingon siya sa katabi. Images of double mozzarella and pepperoni made her tummy grumble, and then her frown broke into a smile. "Fine." Lumawak din ang pagkakangiti ni Lucas, and before she knew it, he had already planted a quick kiss on her temple. "I'll tell you a secret, Lucas." Hindi pa man nakakabawi sa simpleng halik nito, ay kunot-noonan niya itong nilingon. "What is it?" "I found you very pretty during your 15th birthday too." And he winked once again, making her whole body tremble and her heart beat even faster. She didn't say a word, pero na makita nakafocus sa pagmamanehong katabi, dahan-dahan gumuhit ang ngiti sa kanyang mga labi. Biglay pakiramdam niya, parang may nabuhay na kung ano sa kanyang dibdib. And she couldn't wait to find out what was "Mommy, I wanna do this." Narinig ni Alanah na pakikipagtalo ni Claudette sa ina sa cellphone. "What? That's unfair, Mom. Bakit ngayon pa naisipan magbakasyon sa France? You know I can't leave Alanah with all the work." Minabuti ni Alanah lumayo ng counter sa kaibigan at nilibot ang paningin sa rinentahan nilang space ni Claudette. It was for their salon business. It was in the same building as Brennan's gym. Nasa second floor nga lang. Brennan decided it was better if they rented a vacant space there para umano hindi siya malayo sa mga ito. Also, the security agency that the boys had started was only a few blocks away. She couldn't get any safer than that. Napailing siya. She was really having second thoughts about the salon. She knew that Claudette was only enthusiastic about it because of her. Gusto nito ipakita na wala ito nadaramang animosity sa kanya despite being kidnapped by mistake, which was once again because of her. Kahit isang reklamo wala siya narinig dito. Hindi yun binabanggit ni Claudette. Her best friend was very careful not to make her feel bad about what happened. Alam niyang kung pwede lang buburahin na nito sa kanyang isip ang insidenteng yon. That was how good Claudette was to her. Pero nakokonsensya pa rin si Alanah, lalo't alam niyang kinukulito ng mga magulang na magpahinga muna sa ibang bansa at ipagpaliban ang pagpapatayo ng negosyo. Claudette's parents were still obviously shaken by what happened to their only daughter, but Claudette just been casually dismissing them, which she knew wasn't right. God! Maya-may ibulalas nito matapos ang tawag. Mom actually bought me and Jessie a ticket to France. She's so manipulative. Samba ko lumukha nitong kwento. She knew France was Claudette's favorite place. Her grandparents had a mansion there with a vineyard na pinamana ng mga ito sa kaibigan. Claudette loved going there at ni minsan hindi pa nito tinanggihan ang offer na magbakasyon. And now the vacation even included Jessie, Claudette's boyfriend. Bakit di ka pumunta? Kasama naman pala si Jessie. Kumbinsi niya. Her friend deserved a break. Are you kidding me? Ngayon pa na narent na natin ang space na to. Iginala nito ang mga mata sa paligid. This is a huge place. Mura din. You know what? Animated itong tanong nang limunganin siya nito na tila nakalimutan ng pakikipag-usap sa ina. Tingin ko mas maganda kung mag-hire tayo ng interior designer. Nalingon siya nito. Hey Alanah, nakikinig ka ba? Yeah. It was touching how all those people cared for her. Palaging inuunang pangangailangan niya, but it was not right. She was getting in the way of their normal way of living. I'm sorry, may iniisip lang ako. Agad na nabahira ng pag-alala ang mukha ni Claudette at nilapitan siya. What is it? Are you okay? Tinignan niya ang kaibigan. Dapat abala na ito ngayon sa pag-empake para magbakasyon kasamang nobyo nito, pero pinili nitong hindi umalis. She knew that when Claudette decided that they should have their own business, it was just a crazy idea. Palinindigan lamang ng kaibigan dahil pumayag siya, and she really wanted this, but not at the expense of her best friend's freedom and happiness. Si Jessie, si Aston, si Brennan, they would call numerous times a day, taking shifts to look after her and staying with her every night. They had their own very busy lives too, pero palaging siya ang priority ng mga ito. And Lucas, he was doing everything he could to keep her safe. Halos hindi na ito umuwi sa sariling bahay sa pagbabantay sa kanya tuwing gabi. She should feel grateful for everything that these people were doing for her, but she felt sick instead. Kinaiinisan niyang katotohanang nagagambalan niya mga taong mahal niya just because may utang na loob ang mga ito sa kanya at sa kanyang lolo. Pakiramdam ni Alanah na napakalaki ng niyang pabigat. She imagined herself out of these people's lives and she could clearly see how their lives would be so much easier and better. She inhaled sharply. I'm fine but I do need to tell you something. Umpisa niya. Kagabi pa niya ito pinag-iisipan at sa mismong oras na ito lang niya napagdesisyonan. Naupo siya sa tabi ng kaibigan at mataman siyang pinagmasdan. What is it? I am so sorry, Claude, but I don't want this salon anymore. What? Halata ang gulat sa mukha ng kaibigan. Ako na magbabayad sa lahat na naggastos in the monthly rent since nakalista to for 2 years. Don't worry about that. I just decided that I want to focus on AJ. Tukoy niya sa car shop. Alanah, I'm not worried about the rent at all. I'm just worried about you. Ba't biglaan to naging desisyon mo? Puzzled itong tanong. Naghibit balikat siya. Pilit na pinakaswalang mukha. I just don't feel like it anymore. I'm sorry, Claude. That's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it, pero sigurado ka ba? Nang aarok nitong tanong. Iniwasan niya ang mata ng kaibigan sa takot may mabasa ito sa kanyang mukha. Yes, I'm sure. Wala nang naggawa si Claudette hanggang sa magpaalam si Alanah. Pagkasakay sa kotse, mabilis siya nag-dial sa cellphone. Nilagay niya yan sa speaker mode saka nagmaneho papalayo sa building. Maya-maya pa'y may sumagot na sa kabilang niya. The travel agency. Good morning. Napatayo si Lucas na makitang papasok ng AJ, si Alanah. He had been waiting there all morning. Tiniis lang niya ang patugong pasulyap-sulyap sa kanya ni Martin, kung hindi lang niya alam na dahil iyon sa malaki, ang takot ng lalaki sa kanya. pagdududahan na niyang kasarian nito. Napakasimple ng gayak ni Alanah. Ang mahaba nitong buhok na ni minsan hindi niya nakitang pinaiklihan nito ay naka-half ponytail, showing her beautiful face fully. She wore nothing on it but powder and lip gloss. As usual, he felt silly, feeling his heart skip a beat, just because he was looking at her. "What are you doing here?" Kulot doon itong bungad ng mabuaran sa tuning area na madaanan nito patungo sa sarili nitong opisina. "Where have you been?" Sa halip tanong ni Lucas, habang sumasabay rito papasok sa opisina. Hindi niya maalis-alis ang tingin sa maganda nitong mukha. There was something odd about her expression right now. "Are you okay?" Nakita niya ang pagbuntong hininga ng dalaga at pag-ikot ng mga mata. "Pati ba naman dito, Lucas? Gagambalain mo ko?" "I'm fine. I was just with Claudette," sabi nito bago iniwas ang paningin sa kanya. He composed himself. He was aware that Anya was feeling suffocated because of all of them meddling with their life. Pero mas okay na yung magalit to sa kanila. The most important thing was that she was safe. Ni sa isip ayon ng balikan ni Lucas ang kahiyahiyang takot na naramdaman niya nang malamang nasa panganib ang buhay ni Alanah. He was strong, able man. He had been able to hell and back. He had seen violence at its worst, but no one had ever prepared him for the fear of realizing that his dear Annie was in trouble. Thinking about it now made him sick. "What do you want, Lucas? Marami pa akong gagawin." Naiinip itong untag na makaupo na sa likuran ng desk at inoon ng laptop. Iniabot niya sa dalaga ang bitbit niyang envelope. "What is this?" Kulot daw nitong tanong matapos yung tanggapin. She did not even waste any time. Agad itong binuksan ng brown envelope and started reading the papers. Nakita niya kung paano nagbago ekspresyon ng dalaga. Nawala ang pagkakakulot ng noon nito pero nawalan din ng kulay ang maganda nitong mukha. And then he saw how she tried to regain her composure. Nabigla pa siya nang bigla nitong salubungin ang kanyang mga mata. "So you want to buy the shop?" Diretso nitong tanong. "Yes, you're holding my proposal in your hands. My attorney did that, but in a nutshell, it's basically saying that I'm willing to pay you in cash right after you sign our agreement." "Wala akong babaguhin sa parang magpapatakbo mo sa AJ. I'm not gonna fire anyone, not even your suitor Martin. And you are guaranteed the position here if you decide that you still want to work here after I buy it from you." Tubango-tango si Alanah. Malalim na nag-iisip. "It's a very good proposal, Lucas." Natigilan siya. It had been forever since Alanah spoke his name that way. Walang halong galit o panunumbat. She said it really softly, and if he was going to get ahead of himself, he would say that Alanah said his name with longing. "Man up, you douche," sita niya sa sarili. Alanah was the only person ever to poke at the most sensitive part of him. He wanted to laugh in spite of himself. "Alam kong biglaan ang offer ko and you already have other fees. So I'll give you time to think about it. Just know that I love this shop as much as you do, as much as Limal did. And I would hate it kung mapupunta lang ito sa ibang tao." Alanah didn't say a word. Malalim pa rin ito nag-iisip. She had been doing that a lot ever since he came back, and he hated that he couldn't read her anymore. She had changed so much. He sighed once again. "See you tonight, Alanah, and take your time." "I've decided, Lucas." Putol ito sa kanya. "Alanah, don't be stubborn." Agad niyang susog. Alam na niyang tatanggan ng dalagang offer niya. "You know I will take care of this shop. Alam ko galit ka sa akin pero huwag mong idadami itong pinaghirapan ni Lemuel. If he was alive, I'm sure na akong pipiliin niyang bumili nito. It's why I'm picking you." "Really?" Now he was confused. His insides twisted when Alanah looked at him in the eyes and smiled at him. "For Pete's sake," sigaw ng isip niya. She's gonna be the end of him. "Yes, tatawagan ko ng lawyer ko. I'll have him check all the legalities and all should be good." Anito't inabot ang telepono. "You wanna do this now?" Taka pa rin niyang tanong. "Why not? May lakad ka pa ba? If okay ka na talaga sa lahat ng mga to, then you can go. I'll sort this out with my lawyer and I'll talk to you about it later." "No, I have nowhere to go. I'm just surprised at how quickly you decided." Totoo sa loob niyang sagot. Ngumiti lang ito at pinagpatuloy ang pagdial sa telepono. Kaopisina ni Lemuel, nakalisa si Alanah at ang abogado nito. They finished signing the papers. He now owned the AJ Auto Parts. Siya na nag-decide na hindi na kailangan mag-audit ng account at ng mga stocks. He knew very well how the shop ran and the papers were just to legalize his ownership. Ang hindi pa maprocess ng kanyang utak ay kung bakit napakabilis pumayag ni Alanah na ibenta sa kanyang negosyo nito. Alam niyang plano na yung dalaga. As a matter of fact, he knew that Alanah and her best friend Claudette were already starting to work on their new business. But until she actually signed the papers, iniisip niyang buo ng loob nito na kay Martin ibenta ang AJ. Something about Alanah's action was very unsettling. May nasahan niyang sentido. He should just be happy na hindi na nauwi sa away ang proposal niyang to. And buying the shop meant securing its future. He owed it to Lemuel. Malungkot siya napangiti. Lemuel, the person who gave him hope. It still angered him how he was killed over a piece of land. The old man was worth so much more. He deserved a long life. He deserved so much better. Hindi niya alam kung saan na siya napadpad kung hindi ito nag-insist noon na makilala niya sina. It brought him up as if he was his own. He owed a lot to his grandmother too. Pero duda si Lemuel kung makakayanan noon ng kanyang lola ang kanyang pagre-rebelde kung hindi siya ginabayan ni Lemuel. At anong pinalit mo sa lahat ng ginawa niya sa'yo? Kuryan niya sa sarili. That guilt inside him started to build up again. He looked at the chair right in front of him. Ang dating upo ni Lemuel, nakaisa kanya na. And then that seemed to be just from yesterday came crashing down on him. Inabot ni Lucas sa nagre-ring na cellphone mula sa bulsa ng kanyang suot na pantalon. Kadarating lang niya sa shop mula sa universidad na pinapasukan. Yun na ang kanyang routine. Sa tuwing hapon pagkatapos ng klase niya, tumutuloy siya sa AJ. He had been spending his time there simula nang umalis ang kanyang mga kaibigan. Binabayaran siya ni Lemuel sa bawat oras na nilalagay niya roon, which was good for him dahil siya mismong nagtutustos sa kanyang pag-aaral. Sa totoo lang, di naman sa kinukulang sa kahit ano. His grandmother left him an ample amount of money. Pati ng bahay nito pero hindi niya yun magawang ibenta. Napamahal na rin sa kanyang bahay ni at ang kanyang lola. His only regret was he never really gave the old woman a chance to truly bond with him. Hanggang sa huling hininga nito ay naroon pa rin ang reservation niya dahil na rin sa ginawang pagtakol sa kanya ng sariling ina. He sighed. Hindi rin niya gusto pang alalahanin na nakaraan. He was okay now at ni sa hinagap, hindi niya pinlanong balikan pa kahit ang nalalaman lang ng kanyang tunay na pamilya. Talingnan niya kung sinong tumatawag at napakulot doon ang hindi makilalang number. He was certain it was not a local call though. Pinindot niya answer button thinking it was one of the boys na madalas tumawag sa kanya. Yo! He answered while walking towards the mall office. Alam niyang gusto rin makausap ang mga kababata. Hello, is this Lucas Benitez? Lucas froze for a moment. There was no way he could be sure. Napakatagal na mula nang huli niyang marinig ang boses na yon. It could just be his mind playing tricks on him. Pero ganun pa man, he still felt something cold lodge in his chest. Yes, who's this? Tahimik ang tanong. Son, this is your father. Tuluyan na siya ng hina. It was his father. He knew it the moment he heard his voice, and he hated that he still remembered the voice of the person who could kill without blinking. I don't have a father. Matigas yung sagot. I understand how you must be feeling right now, Lucas. You have every right to be angry with me. You don't understand, sabat niya. I don't feel anything for you. I don't associate myself with murderers. Narinig niyang paghugot ito ng malalim na hininga. The blood that runs through his murderer's vein is the same blood that runs in yours, son. There was an edge in his father's voice this time. He scoffed in disgust. You have no business for calling me. You have no business with me at all. I want you back here, Lucas. It's time you come home. Patuloy pa rin ito. It was just so typical of Leandro. Nasa boses pa rin ang otoridad. He doubted that he could even feel the anger he was dying to make his father feel right now. You are out of your mind if you think for one moment that I'd go back there. Leave me alone, Leandro. You are nothing to me. And your mother? He smirked. She broke her ties with me the moment she chose to stay with a cold-blooded murderer instead of her son. Yun lang at pinutol na niyang tawag. Hindi pa natuwa, pinatay niyang telepono. He just realized he was standing in front of Lemuel's office. Hindi na niya natuloy yung pagpasok doon. Lucas swallowed hard. He isn't sure that the conversation between him and his father actually happened. He did not see it coming at all. At simula nang huling niyang makita ang inay, ngayon lang niya muling naramdaman ang nakapanghihi ng galit at sama ng loob na naramdaman niya noon. He suddenly felt like a lost boy again at tinakwil ng sariling ina, forced to go with a stranger. He blinked several times nang maramdaman ang pag-iinit ng mga mata. Ilang segundo pang pinalipas niya bago binuksan ang pinto. He wanted to see Lemuel now. Lemuel was the only security he had at the moment. Pero sa halip ng matanda ang maabutan sa opisina, ay si Alanah ang kanyang nakita. Searing in her grandfather's swivel chair, her face instantly lit up when she saw him. Simula na mapag-usapan nilang tungkol sa pag-ayasa ni Jessie na pumasok sa army, naging mas close na sila. He avoided teasing her the way he usually did nung kasama pa niya mga kababata, and in return, Alanah became very sweet with him. He enjoyed it but at the same time it made him uneasy dahil hindi yun nakakatulong sa pagsikil sa nararamdaman niya dito. His defenses melted every time Anya would smile at him or even when she only looked at him. And that kind of confusion was the last thing he needed right now. Hi, Lucas. Inahanap mo si Lolo? Tanong nito. She was still wearing her university uniform. A blue miniskirt that was too short for his liking and a white long-sleeve shirt. He could easily see through it. Yeah, where is he? Matabang niyang tanong. Not liking the way his mind was working at the moment. Pumunta siya sa Bulacan pagkatapos niya akong sunduin. Why aren't you home then? Nagkibit balikat to. No one's home. It's only there. And I'm thinking maybe you want to go for a pizza run? Tumayo ito at lumapit sa kanya. She was barefoot, her pinkish ankles and toes exposed. They looked so delicate against the dark carpet of Lemuel air-conditioned office. Ipinilig ni Lucas ang ulo. He was noticing silly things. I'm on the mood for the pizza. He snapped. Go get it yourself if you want it. What's your problem? She snapped right back. Halatang di natuwa sa kanyang sagot. It doesn't concern you, Alanah. Leave me alone. Ani at mabilis na nalikuran ang dalaga. He had to get out of there. He just did not have the patience at the moment. Hindi para sa dalaga kundi sa kanyang sarili. He had been fighting tooth and nail just to stop himself from finally giving in to what he was feeling for her. And it was just too much for him right now. Wait! Anitong hinawakan ng kanyang braso. Out of frustration, naiwas-iwas niyang kamay, unintentionally causing Alanah to lose her balance. He was also sure na bahagya pa niya ito nasaktan, hitting her shoulder with his elbow. Parang binuhusan ng malamig na tubig, na mabilis na itong nahawakan sa bewang para hindi ito matumba. Pero mas lalo lang siyang malamig nang marahas itong itinulak palayo. Nang tingnan niya mukha nito ay nakita niya roon ng takot at pagkagulat. She obviously did not expect this drastic move. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Muli, sinubukan itong lapitan but fear was already on her face. Get away from me. Bigla'y umalingaw sa kanyang sinabi sa kanya ng ama sa telepono. The blood that runs through his father's veins was the same blood that runs through him. Nasaktan niya si Annie. No matter how unintentional it was, katulad din siya ng kanyang ama. Annie, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry, he said, rattled. Gusto niyang pagbubugbugin ng sarili. During his darkest hours, Alanah was the only light he could see. She was the main reason why he went with Lemuel that fateful day in the first place. Lemuel was his security but Alanah was his light. She was his comfortable place. Alanah's smile was his home. Just go, Lucas. No. Determinado niyang sambit at tuluyan tong kinulong sa kanyang yakap. Hindi pinansin ang panlalaban nito. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I hurt you, sweetheart? He asked, full of emotion, habang walang tigil sa paghagod sa likod nito. He even realized that he was kissing her temple again and again. Lucas, tawag nito. I'm so sorry. Hey, it's okay. Relax. Naramdaman na lamang niyang hinahagod na rin ito ang kanyang likod. They were now sharing a very intimate hug and he just realized that he was shaking. Nakita niya ang panginig ng mga palad ng ikulong niya doon ng mukha ng dalaga. Are you mad at me? I'm sorry. It's okay, Lucas. It's okay, she said in the gentlest way possible. Before Lucas could help himself, he was already closing the gap between them to claim Annie's sweet lips. Sa oras na maglapat ng kanilang mga labi, pakiramdam niya ay pumasok siya sa ibang mundo. The heavy darkness that had been weighing on him suddenly lifted and disappeared into thin air. And when Alanah responded to his kiss, that world suddenly stopped spinning. All he could perceive was a taste of her sweet lips and the innocent way they moved against his. There was a nagging feeling inside him that said that this was wrong, but his body was not listening to it. His heart was all he could hear, its loud beating. Nagsimulang magsaliksik ang kanyang kamay sa katawan ng dalaga nang imalayan ng tinutugon ng kanyang halik. His hand went down to her bottom, feeling the rough fabric of her uniform, and then it went back up to her nape to caress it. Sinimulang kalasin ng isa niyang kamay ang butones nang suot itong uniforme habang ang kanyang halik ay bumababa sa leg ng dalaga. She smelled of sun, perfume, and the woman herself. It was a mixture of scent that drew him deeper into that blissful trance. Slowly, while fumbling to unbutton her blouse, he dragged her toward the swivel chair, wanting to set her down to make the task of taking off her clothes easier. Walang pagtutol na sumunod ang dalaga. Dahan-dahan, tuloy niyang kinalasan na titirang botones sa suot nitong blouse. Her plump breast pushed against her white bra, and he couldn't even stop himself from planting soft kisses over her cleavage. When he looked up back at her face, she was looking at him too. He felt his heart leap with a paralyzing affection that he had never felt before, and he wanted to delve into that. He wanted to get lost in that moment and forget about everything else that was going on with his life, that had gone on with his life. He started planting hot kisses on her neck while passionately caressing her breast. Ramdam niya ang malalim nitong paghinga, and that alluring sound only drove him crazier. Bumalik ang mga labi niya sa naghihintay na bibig ng dalaga, and this time the kiss was more fervent, hot, and demanding. His tongue invaded her mouth, wanting to taste everything that it could offer. His hand left her breast and went under her skirt. Napahugot siya ng malalim na hininga nang maramdaman ang pagpapaubaya nito. God, he wanted her so bad. His hand slowly made its way up to her thigh, but a voice from outside made him freeze. Ramdam din niya ang biglang paninigas ni Annie. Oo, wag ninyong kalimutang ikabit ang mga tire valve caps. It was Lemuel's voice. Pwedeng may tumutok ng baril sa kanya ngayon, pero hindi pa rin niya magagawang gumalaw. He was frozen from the inside out. The realization of what he did slowly paralyzing his system. Si Alanah ang una nakabawi. Lucas, that's Lolo. Buong takot itong singhap at mabilis siyang tinulak bago nagkukumahog na inayos ang blouse na halos nahubad na niya. He stood from the floor, saktong pagbukas ng pinto at pagpasok ni Lemuel. He glimpsed at Alanah at nakita niyang naayos na nitong suot na uniform. Hi, Lolo? She greeted nervously. Pero duda siya kung napansin niya na matanda dahil hindi mo lang nito mas husing tinignan ng apo. Oh, it's good you're here, Lucas. Kapapasok lang na sasakyan ni Mrs. Jimenez. Her starter is acting up. Check her car batteries and sparks plug, please. Okay, he said quietly. Napayuko siya naglakad palabas ng opisina. He couldn't even manage to look at Alanah or Lemuel. He took off like a coward. He knew exactly what he was though. A total asshole. A straight-up ungrateful bastard.